Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk. I just had to help Jocelyn with the sound on her computer. And then someone texted me that they lost a ring at Whiskey Joe's restaurant, which I don't know where that's at. And they're asking me if I'm available. So I can't do that for sure.
Well, I don't know about Whiskey Joe's. We ought to send Big Poppy.
Yeah, to Whiskey Joe's. I don't even know where Whiskey Joe's is at.
I have no clue. If it's probably in the bottom of their drink.
On the causeway? Okay. Anyway, folks, we're going to have a fine show here tonight. We've got an excellent guest, don't we, Jeff?
We do indeed. This is going to be a ripper.
For sure. And I trust everybody had a happy Father's Day.
And we did.
Yes, and I did want to show a couple things before we get started. We got Clive's book in for the Manticore.
Very good, very good.
We have that in stock. And then he had mentioned this one on the show as a good one for water hunters. Secret of the Poles, Volume 2. We have that one back in stock also. And
Big Poppy knows exactly where Whiskey Joe's is. He said it's on the causeway. He knows.
Yeah, that's what Jocelyn said it was on the causeway too. I wonder how she knew where it was.
I don't know.
All righty. So anyway, let's. I guess I better get started here.
Yep.
Of course, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Bonin.
True.
Woo! That was a lot. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting and metal detecting, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And we're going to do just that as always.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We got a couple of really hot shows coming up. The one tonight is just spectacular. People have been waiting to meet this fella. We've had some friends of ours that have gone to Scotland and have dug with Scotty and Toddy, and he's put them on some major, major finds. I mean, they can't speak highly enough of that. Now, who's texting me?
Well, while you're checking that, Jeff, I wanted to real quick invite anybody in the Tampa Bay area tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The West State Archaeological Society Metal Detecting Club meeting is tomorrow night. And of course, it's at Cornucopia Building, and that's at 13336 North Central Avenue.
Yes, indeed. That will be good. And down the road here, you will see Richard from Cornucopia again to talk about coins.
Cool. And if you have any questions on that, just give me a ring at the shop tomorrow, or just see me there at the meeting. And of course, and our guest speaker is Dave Eckhart, and he is an author and a historian on and he's talking on the Marines in Florida in the Seminole Indian Wars. So that should be very interesting.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
And,
so everybody get ready and you listen closely, because like I said, Toddy is from Scotland and he speaks with a slight accent. So, he's going to just do your best to get your questions up. Get it in the chat. I'll see it, or Jocelyn will see it, and we'll get it asked. Don't go tonight without asking your question. Now, just a preface to this, we're not going to talk any prices tonight, because that's on an individual basis. It depends on what you want. So when we talk with Toddy, he's going to get all his contact information. You contact him and tell him what you got in mind. because then he'll work with you. So let's just stop blathering on and let's bring on Toddy from Toddy's Digs Metal Detecting Scotland.
Awesome. Let's bring him on.
Hey, Toddy.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing excellent, Toddy. And I guess before we get started, if you could, or Jeff maybe has it already, post your, I guess you have a website or email or something for people.
Just a very simple one, MetalDetectingScotland.co.uk.
Go ahead and repeat that.
Yeah.
www.MetalDetectingScotland.co.uk.
.co.uk. So
Yes, I've also
the link in Treasure Talk.
I've also got a book out. It's Metal Detecting in Scotland, and it's by Toddy, I think.
Okay, cool. And
Where can we buy that?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a wholesale where Phil from Scotland in his shop?
Sorry, Phil. Yes.
Phil wants to stock them in his shop.
Yes. Listen, if you want to stock them, I can sell you a box. Phil, no problem.
Okay. All right. I'll send you an email. We'll set it up for sure.
No problem.
That's cool. We still got a little bad sound for some
Yeah,
reason.
we got a little bit. Well, you know, Toddy's halfway around the world, so there's liable to be a little bit of interference. But we'll just we'll soldier on.
Yeah, I'll turn my sound down a little bit. Maybe I'll be a little clearer. But hopefully you can hear me okay, right, guys?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. And I guess we got the first question up from Tom Becker. He wants to know what kind of fines are in Scotland versus the UK.
They're very similar, and I'll speak nice and slow so that you guys can understand me. Scotland and England fines are very similar because the people kind of intermingled over the years. What we don't find in Scotland is Celtic gold status, which you find in Yorkshire, down towards southern England. You get Celtic gold status. I've only ever found one Celtic coin, sorry, tell a lie, Saxon coin in Scotland, and that was the earliest I got, apart from Roman. But we don't get any Celtic.
Okay. So how long have you been metal detecting, Toddy?
I've been metal detecting since I was about 20 years of age. I'm now 55 this year.
Okay.
So I've been metal detecting a long time.
Okay, cool. So you know your craft there in Scotland.
I know my stuff, mate. Honestly, I just turn it up. I literally eat, sleep, and breathe the hobby of metal detecting, and I have done for many years.
Yeah. So is that your main job then, doing trips, metal detecting trips?
No, I'm a scuba diving instructor in a scuba diving centre here in Scotland. I do underwater metal detecting, underwater treasure hunting. I enjoy that as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
You found some really cool stuff.
Yes, well, I have. I've got a couple of nice sites I'm working just now. Obviously, to find anything significant through the Scottish Trove system.
Do you do shipwrecks and stuff there, Toddy?
Sorry?
Shipwrecks?
Shipwrecks. Well, there is shipwrecks in the sea. A lot of them are protected as like war graves, or obviously they come under protection because they are ancient shipwrecks. But obviously there's shipwrecks there that haven't been found yet. Any evidence that
Okay, have we got a question here? Are the treasure trove laws the same in Scotland as they are in England?
No, in Scotland, everything that is an ownerless good belongs to the Crown, no matter the material. So that's the difference between England and Scotland. In terms, if you find, just for simple sake, I found a hammered coin in Scotland, and I put it into the treasure trove, and they say they're going to keep it. What they do is they give you a reward. They're not giving you a market value of it, even though they usually do try and give you the market value, but it's a reward they're giving.
Okay. I couldn't quite hear that one.
What they're doing is, I was saying, if you find, just for saying, say, a hammered coin, right? And that comes into the treasure trove, what happens is if you decide they're going to keep that hammered coin, they'll give you a reward for it. And it's usually around the market value. It's not guaranteed that it will be the market value, but it's around the market value.
Okay.
Now, in Scotland, like the landowner, you split the reward with the landowner.
That's not law in Scotland, even though it's you usually try and have a signed agreement with the landowner or a gentleman's agreement. It's not law that you need to split it, but it's just the one thing to do such a thing. We have had a couple of cases in the past where they haven't split it with the landowner, which brings our maybe into disrepute. Because if I shake somebody's hand, if it's £20, he's getting £10. It's just simple as that. He gets half if that's what the deal was.
Well, it helps, you know, keep hunting on his land.
Well, listen, if without farmers, we wouldn't have any land. So if the people are going to do that with farmers, then it's just we don't have any land to search. I was the very first one to start paying farmers to detect on the land. Prior to that, people look at it as if it was like, oh, thank you very much for letting me hunt your land and find all these hammered coins, but they weren't paying the farmer. Farmers are in a business for self, and they've got a right to earn a living off their land through alternative means. So I started paying farmers 20 years ago to start metal detecting on their land. And people didn't want me to do that because they knew when they went to get permission, they wouldn't go on because somebody else was paying them. But I think it's the right thing to do. And I did, I'll do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the right thing to do as well.
Yeah, because they need to earn a living too, otherwise they won't be there. And
See if I'm going to take 80 people on a guy's field, I don't expect to take him on for nothing. I pay the farmer.
Yeah.
And I was the first to pay them many years ago.
Okay. Well, it looks like Jeff's got a question up there. What is the average depth of the finds that you find?
Well, fines depth is down to mineralisation in the detector you're using. So just for saying sake, you're using a top of the range, like just for saying sake, Equinox 900 or a DS2. If the ground's not mineralised, just for saying sake, you get a gold wedding band at 10, 12 inches, and then you go into a mineralised ground, you might struggle to get it at 7 inches because of the mineralisation that's in the soil.
Yeah.
And that's when the pulse induction machine can in, your GPXs and things like that.
Yeah, but are you finding most of your finds shallower than that from the farming, from plowing the fields?
Well, we've got different situations here. We've got pasture fields that's maybe only been plowed maybe once every 15 years. So everything during the war, everything was ploughed for food. So most fields have been turned over in the past. So the depth that you're finding it's not like natural gradual drop of the find because it's been turned over. So we can find a hammered coin literally lying on the top, and you maybe get a 50p piece that's quite modern, 10 inches down, because it's everything in the plough, the top of the plough, and is all jumbled up.
Okay.
So
all right. And what equipment are you using now?
I use most of the top of the range machines, as I say, the detectors are part of the hobby for me. So when the Manticore came out, I was using the Manticore. It shows I can learn it. Obviously, if you're learning it, you're passing information on to your customers. The same with the DS2. When the DS2 came out, I'm a diver, so I wanted to use it underwater. I wanted to use it on land and beaches. I've got a couple of nice videos of the DS2 on the beach. So I use them. I also use the GPX 5000 and I have done for many years because we had some good land that was highly mineralised and well searched. So the GPX was finding stuff double a depth of anything else obviously you had to give more iron. That was a sacrifice we were willing to take.
And what equipment are you using underwater?
Underwater, as I say, I'm using the DF2. I do like the Excalibur as well. That's a good underwater machine because it's quite tough under the water. It's really but the DF2 was good under the water. That's what I've used because it can go deeper than the Mine Labs, your Manticore and your Equinoxes, which is only 5 meters. When I'm diving, I'm going to 10 meters and maybe a wee bit more than that. So I need something to cope with that sort of depth.
Yeah.
And what are the finds that you're finding underwater? What kind of finds?
I've got a video up on YouTube of I'm detecting underwater, and I was getting Victorian pennies back in 1700s. I've also got another site I'm researching, but it's hammered coins under the water. So that's a site that I'm researching just now. I'm trying to seek permission to dive it. Under the water.
Okay, cool. So are you diving in the ocean or rivers?
No, it's mostly lochs. We do rivers as well, which we handed a lot of stuff in through the rivers there. Rolling coins out the river.
Okay, so you're diving in lochs also? And
Yes.
So is the Loch Ness Monster real?
Well, I couldn't tell you. I don't go up to the Loch Ness. My deal mostly rather than Loch Ness, but it could be. You never know.
That depends on how much Scott you've had the name before, hasn't it, Scotty?
Yes, I have.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about trips, how you structure your trips. Let's say, for instance, there's 5 people that want to get together with a group, and they contact you and want to have you take them metal detecting for 10 days.
Right. Well, what happened was when I started doing trips, I've been going to do trips for many years. As I say, I've been to America many times. I made a lot of contacts over the years through the forums, Fine Mall Forum, as you know. Before Facebook, it was all forums, and you got to know people throughout the year. As I say, a good one to me was Gravedigger and Axe in Virginia. They guys really took me under their wing and helped me and taught me a lot about ocean detecting for rings and things like that. So, thanks to them if they're listening. So, trips, as I say, I'm learning because it's a hard thing to do, it's a new thing to do. So, as you know, I run 2 businesses, but try to get it right was good. So my first trip is, you know, I had a big group, I had 18 people over, and I took to do with all the arranging of hotels and putting the guys up, and we had a fantastic trip. They were over for about, I can't remember now if it was 2 weeks or 10 days. I forgot. It was before COVID, and it was guys from all over America, and it was through Andy Savage organised it, and the guys over, and we had a great trip. What spoiled it was COVID, because what happened was the funds went into Treasure Trove, right? And Treasure Trove took forever because the guys were working from home. So it was basically they were nearly 2 years behind. So people then start wondering where's their fines. So they eventually got them maybe over 3 years later, which is no fault of the Treasure Trove in Scotland. Absolutely no fault of theirs, because we all waited. I actually get fines back from longer than that, a longer period than that, because you've got to remember that here in Scotland, at the time there was only 2 people in the Treasure Trove system, right? See, when I started 20 odd years ago, well, longer than that, but started running clubs years ago, there was only 2 people. Now, metal detecting hobby has boomed since then because of TV programmes, myself holding gigs, maybe other groups holding gigs. So the hobby is more accessible. The price of machines are a lot less. So what happens is the Treasure Trove is under a lot of strain to cope with the amount of fines that they're getting. So the Treasure Trove system just now is under review, and they've also got people in helping them. So they're really clearing the backlog. the people from the first trip have now got all their fines. They're now happy, even though I was getting a lot of stress through that because they were asking me their fines and I was telling them about the treasure trove. But they obviously couldn't believe that it was taking over nearly 3 years for their fines. But they've all got their fines, so that's in the past. Groups coming over now, they won't wait that long. I don't know how long they'll wait. They could wait a year for their fines, but that's just the law in Scotland. Now, by the time the groups come over, they are reviewing the system, which I think might be that they're going to say fines below a certain age, or past a certain age, like from 1700s upwards, don't need to be declared as treasure, which would cut down on a lot of the time.
Yeah, we had to deal with COVID as well. Let's mess everything up. But like I said, people, you basically will take people on a trip in the fall before they plant the crop, right?
Sorry? Yes, it would be the fall. There's no use. You're talking maybe the end of August, the last 2 weeks in August, right throughout the winter. Some people think that they need to squeeze it into the month of September. That's no the best time. The best time is maybe when the stubble's actually weathered down a bit and the soil's getting wetter. So when it's wet soil, you get deeper. It's as well. So, September, October, so the end of August, September, October, so I've got a 2-month window. I've even seen us detecting in November, and it's lovely. If you don't mind putting a jacket on and then even November's fine.
So you really recommend more in the end of September and October?
Yeah, honestly, the end of September onwards, because by that time, what usually happens is after the crops come out, some farmers will try and put another crop straight in. So it can be still a really busy time for farmers. Mm-hmm. So once that's done, usually they start harvesting maybe the end of July, take winter barley out, and then it's August. The farmers are just all go. So they really don't want detectorists pestering them, the big groups of guys all over their land. So it's usually the start of September onwards and start slowing down for the farmers.
Oh, that's good. So if people get in touch with you, you can help them find a place where they're going to stay, and then you come and pick them up and take them out to their.
Well, my last group I had over was the guys that are probably watching Bruno and Sean and the team from Florida. And the way I like it now is like groups of 8 because that suits me. So I can maybe fit a couple of groups of 8 in. The guys book their digs all within a certain distance of where I'm going to be taking them out detecting. I pick them up every day, take them out detecting. I stay with them all day. I don't just dump them in a field and run away and leave them. I stay with them for a full week, metal detecting. If they want to go to the beach, I'll take them to the beach, do a bit something different. Take them sightseeing, see some castles as well. So really, I put on a nice trip. As I say, the guys from Florida loved it. They absolutely loved it.
They did, and
I know Billy and Sean and his dad, and I know they loved it. I have a question on here from Chuck Brown. He's asking, what cities in Scotland are you around, and what cities do they fly into?
It's usually Edinburgh. They're flying in, they fly into Edinburgh. As I say, if I do digs, I've been holding digs for many years, and we do it in the central area of Scotland, from the east coast to the west coast, up as far as just below Aberdeen, Dundee area, and then down to the Scottish borders, just the border between Scotland and England. I do that.
Okay. And then Tom Becker had asked, do you have people dive with you if they wanted to dive, and do you have to be a certified diver?
They would need to be a certified diver. I wouldn't take anybody in that wasn't certified. Obviously, if I can hire the kit, I hire out diving kit. I'm a certified DSAC, PADI and FDI and TDI instructor. So I do that. I've also got a boat. So I get in the boat and Go for a wee dive off the boat, no problem. Right in front of a nice big castle, no problem.
Very good. You know what, Phil? That's the word from our sponsor.
Is it time already?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's too funny. Okay.
Let's do this.
Every time I hear that sound, I'm going to say it, it turns me on.
God dang, I'm so damn embarrassed.
Hey folks, Phil Myers here, of course, from Myers Metal Detectors, and today I'm going to show you some nice shovels that you can use when you're taking a trip like to England or Scotland or wherever. These are the Merlin shovel, and a real nice feature on it. Now this one is a two-headed one you can get. You get it these different ways, but this one you can pack in your luggage real easy. Funny. I've got the wide head and the narrow head. Also, Joe, take and show them the different types of shovels that we do stock. We've got the Motleys and we've got other ones. So if you have any questions on metal detectors or metal detector accessory needs, give me a call, 813-237-1939. Yeah. That was funny.
Yes, it was.
Oh, that's too funny. That's take off of one of the TV shows. And like you said, Toddy, the TV shows have really made our hobby popular now.
Yeah.
I mean, and COVID did the same because you can do metal detecting by yourself.
Well, what happens, COVID, I think people really focused on what they could do at home. So they were stuck in the house and they were watching all these TV programs on YouTube. So they were thinking, oh, I've always wanted to try metal detecting. But what you've got to remember is the price of the metal detector now. Say I had a shop, I still sell metal detectors, but when I sold them years ago, the prices on them, it was that you had White's prisms, and they were out, and they were quite expensive. Now you can get a waterproof metal detector, backlights, selectable frequencies for £299.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Honestly, we have 11, 12-inch coil, DD coils, it's unbelievable. So it's more accessible, and what you're getting for your money now is far better.
Yeah, the consumer is really gained now. The detectors we had 10 years ago are nothing compared to the inexpensive waterproof models we have today.
That's right. But you can dive with a £299 metal detector at 5 meters. Unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy what the consumer can get for their money today, for sure. Yeah. So how you doing over there, Jeff?
Good. When they come to Scotland, like you say, you help them with their finds. If they dig something, they don't want to throw it away. You've seen it.
You ask the guys in Florida, there was nothing that comes out of the ground here that I don't know what it is. I know everything. Even if it's part of something, I still know what it is. And I'll see it there and then, and I'll show them on the phone, Google, the find it.
Because when I was in the Colchester hunting, it was, they said, don't throw nothing away.
No, don't throw it away, because you might think something's insignificant, and it's not. Honestly, I remember years ago, a digs I done in about 2004. There was a guy at a club dig, and we finished at the end of the day. It was really cold in the winter, and I says to him, he was quite new to the hobby. I says, how did you get on? Have you found it? No, we've not really found much. And I found an old hatchet. I says, could I see it, please? And it was the nicest Bronze Age axe head you have ever found, 3,500 years old. Honestly, it was stunning. And he thought it was just an old hatchet. Now, if I hadn't seen that, he would have took that home and it'd get through in a cupboard or whatever. But that's how you need. MDate's new in the hobby for UK, it's Western or Scotland. Don't throw it away. There's Facebook groups everywhere now. You can post them on my group and we identify everything you find. There's guys on there that love identifying stuff.
And when they view whatever they find, like you say, has to go to the treasure trove, do you guys catalog it for them?
Well, we can do that as part of the trip. We can take them to the treasure trove and can record the whole lot ourselves.
Okay.
So that can be part of the trip. They can go in and just take it into Treasure Trove, and we'll give them grid locations. We'll put everything in bags. There'll be locations, 6-figure grid references or 8-figure grid references, and hand them in.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's really neat, the technology we have today. Posting it on a site to be able to tell what it is almost instantly.
I remember on the forums years ago, when the forums just started up, that a guy says, one day we'll be able to actually take a photograph of a find in the field and post it onto the site and get it identified. And now it's happening. It happens.
Yeah, it's really cool what the technology we have today for sure.
Yeah. We got somebody from Facebook. It says they're tuning in to hear your accent.
Are they? That's great.
Yeah, I think I know who it is.
Awesome.
Canada, I think.
Well, let's talk about some of your favorite finds.
Yep. I've found some nice stuff over the years. One of my favourite finds was a gold brooch I found. It was a gold medieval brooch, and it was one with the pins in it, and it was inscribed in Latin. And it was made. They analysed the gold, and it was made from coins that it was minted in France. They melted them down to make jewellery. I found that. I've also found coin hoards, scatters of coins, going back to medieval times. When we were in the river, we found a hoard of Roman coins in the river. That was exciting. So we found Roman coins, bronze Roman coins. So a feeling like that, 2,000-year-old, you're digging about a pool of water in the river. It's amazing.
Now, when you found a hoard of coins, how many of those did you keep, or did they put them in a museum?
No, we put the whole bit in the museum as part of the hoard. The lot goes in as part of a group of coins. That's what you do. You don't separate the hoard. Anything. So if you find 4 coins, they get 4 hammered coins in close proximity. Well, it's actually 2 or 3 coins. They can actually lump it together and say it's a hoard, and they can claim it as a hoard.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So how about gold coins? How many gold coins have you found?
I found a gold hammered coin when I was in England. At MetalDetecting Valley, it was a lovely gold hammered coin. Found that.
Okay, cool.
Gold sovereigns in the 1800s.
Okay. And Tim asks this question all the time, doesn't he, Jeff? What's the most unusual find you found? Most weirdest, unusual.
Well, one of the guys at my club found a lady's thing in the field. I'll just cut it there.
Okay. Yeah, it's a family show here. So.
I know. Yeah, it's a family show. That's the most unusual thing I've found.
So, are you a member of the local metal detecting club?
Yes, my club, Toddy's Digs.
How many people are in your club?
Well, in my Facebook group, we've got 3,000 members.
Do you have regular meetings?
No, I used to hold that type of club years ago. It was a club we had here, and it was about 70 members. But I found it just get a bit too political for my liking. Too many.
Okay. Yeah, too many people are very political. Yeah.
It became political, and I didn't like the way it was going, so I left it and just started Digs. So that's how Digs started in Scotland.
Okay. Yeah, it's all the clubs everywhere political. You just got to.
It doesn't matter if it's a knitting club or a sewing club, it's always going to get political.
Oh, yeah, they always do. Yeah, so Jocelyn just said there's a question. What's on your bucket list? What do you want to find?
Oh, do you know what? I went to loads and loads of rallies in England hoping to find a Celtic star and never ever found it. I spent
you're looking for a Celtic
driving up and down into England and never found one.
Okay.
I seen a horde of them coming up, never found any.
You ever found any Templar stuff?
Let me think. Templars. I can't remember, but I know a guy that found a Templar coin. He found a Templar coin. But you don't get much Templar stuff. You definitely don't.
How about more modern stuff? We had a lot of U.S. troops over there during World War I and II. Have you found stuff from them?
No, see the day before I found my hammered coin, my first hammered coin, I found an American silver dime. It was for the early 1800s. And then, honestly, about 2 feet from it, I found my very first hammered coin. The guys know we do find where there was American bases like in the Dunoon and places like that. You do pick up American stuff where there was American bases.
Yeah. I think that would be so funny digging an American dime and then a hammer.
At one of my digs up at Doon, a guy found a gold, is it $1/4 to the 1800s with a wee tiny gold coin. I'll find it and send you a photograph. It was a tiny gold American coin.
Yeah, $1 coin.
It was a tiny one, yeah.
Yeah, real small.
1800s.
Yeah, that's funny. Find it in Scotland.
They found it in Scotland. Honestly, the boy was shaking. I'll find a photo and I'll send you it.
Yeah, I think I would be shaken too. I've been looking for a gold coin for over 40 years. So
yes, well, a guy found one in Mansfield in Scotland. Honestly, you couldn't have it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, when the Florida boys were over there, wouldn't one of them find a gold coin?
He might have found a sovereign, half sovereign.
I think so. What a
Yeah, they done well. They done well when they were over. They loads of fines.
Yeah, they should probably stop too, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could probably put the fines down.
Yeah, they had a really good time. It was really chilled out. They were nice and it was a nice chilled week detecting. It was fantastic.
I know Billy Keene he couldn't wait to eat haggis, and he ate it 2 or 3 times, I think.
Yeah. So, as I say, if anybody's looking to get information on any trips, message me. As I say, I can speak about the ins and outs, how it works. But it's a pretty chilled affair. It's not, I don't lump everybody together in a big barn or anything like that and just let them get on with it. No, a lot of people bring their wives to these trips, so they want to stay in their own kind of wee accommodation. I went to me and just for saying sake, we were going on a dive in Liverboard or something. We would want to make sure it was somewhere quite nice to stay because it's a holiday for them as well.
Yeah. Well, in a small group, it's better for you, and it's much better for everybody that's participating. When you have 8 or 10 people, that's enough.
That's it.
So that's why, a lot of these people were really waiting for this show because they like the small group hunts. You get their friends, they're all over there hunting together in a small group, and they get the premium detecting coverage.
That's right. They're not fighting for space. Where the people live. They've not been funny. If you go to some of the big detecting rallies, there's hundreds and hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just absolute madness. Just running over people, and everybody's running over you, and the machines are all going crazy. I've been to hundreds of rallies, but that's not a proper detecting experience. You want to feel like quite a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, like the rallies, they're seeing the hunts and stuff like that, and that's not what people want to do. They want to go out and actually find some history. That's
right. But what I want to say is, see when you come over to my detecting, I'm not going to. If I do the research and I know that it's an old place and I know the evidence that comes up, if somebody says, "Oh, we're not getting," I'll say, "No, you just really need to get the head down and get on with it and start detecting and finding stuff." Like the guys in Florida, they just get the head down and they just went for it. And maybe 4 or 5 hours into it, they think I haven't got much, and then bingo, the next find they've got's a hammered coin or a Roman coin.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the way it works. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. But, you know, you go over there, you put the detector down, and you find a hammered coin. It's not like that. It's got to be in an area where there was, you know, people.
Well, last day, a lot of the guys were the last day we came over, and it was Sean's dad who came over, and the guys, I think they were, maybe it was really rainy that day, and maybe sometimes your head goes down a wee bit, and we get that in the digs. Maybe think there's not much coming up, and somebody comes up and goes like that, look at that, and it was a lovely hammered coin. But that, everybody gets boosted up again, and then all of a sudden the coins start coming out because somebody else has found something that boosts everybody else up.
Yeah,
That's
everybody gets excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I was over there. I wasn't in Scotland. I was over in Colchester. One of the guys from the Celtic Gold Trader who just kicked over a cloud.
That's all it takes, honestly. It just, you may be having nothing and then bump, because the history's there.
Yeah, I mean, we found tons of buttons.
Yeah,
you know,
you do get a lot of buttons in Scotland and England. You do get, I don't know why there's so many buttons, but you do get loads of buttons. There was a saying that they used to put the clothes in the field and plough them in. They called it Toddy, which I think is a load of rubbish, because buttons were a valuable thing in those days. They were expensive, so they would have cut all the buttons off the clothes before they put them in anywhere in the ground.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we found a bunch of, I think I did 150 buttons that trip.
Hey, so Toddy, not to change the subject from the buttons, but what is the oldest coin that you have dug?
me, Roman.
A Roman?
I used to find, when you're talking about AD 64, read about AD 60s, from the period of the Roman Antonine period, read about that. I used to have a couple of good Roman coins, but I used to find 2 or 3 Roman silver coins every week.
Okay, so that's pretty darn old, isn't it? AD 64?
That's very old. Yeah, there was another group at the same time we were there, and they found a couple of silver denarii.
Yep.
And some of our guys found some Roman coins and bronze.
Yep.
Coins.
You find more Roman bronzes in England than in Scotland. In Scotland, it's mostly Roman silver.
See,
Artifact-wise, I've found Neolithic stone axes lying in the ground, just lying in the plough soil. So they're older than Bronze Age.
have you ever hunted a battlefield site like Toddy?
No, because we wouldn't do that, because it's a war grave. It's a protected site as well. But I refrain from really doing battle sites. If it was a battle site in the park where I stay, and I wouldn't go because it's a war grave.
Yeah, that's what I would figure. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Have you found any stone artifacts?
That's what I'm saying. I found a Neolithic axe. A Neolithic axe is older than Bronze Age. I think it's like 4,500 years old.
Wow.
And that was lying in the plough soil. What happens is farmers plough their fields round about November, December, and over the winter. And what happens is, with heavy rain, it cleans all the finds. So that's when you find flints or any Stone Age finds or anything like that. And this, I actually found 2 Neolithic axes on the same site, 3 years apart. And it was just lying in the plough soil when it was detecting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So I guess Jeff, we got something we're giving away, huh?
Yes, we do. We're going to do a little giveaway tonight. And what we are giving away 2 books. One is by Fred Banky. He's a fantastic hunter. You'll see him in July, along with the legendary Shannon, called The Real Deal. This book is something you really want. If you have aspirations for hunting the Treasure Coast, it's all right in here. Where to go, where to park, beach access, everything. And you really want this book as well. This is from KT Buddy Jones, who will help discover the Etosha treasure. This is a guide to the old Spanish coins, help you identify them. So, as always, you have to be a member of Treasure Talk, either on Facebook or YouTube. If you're not a member on YouTube, very easy to do. Hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, ask for all notifications, send me an email, let me know that you are a new subscriber. Then you have to go to the video that I put up and use the phrase that I give you. Now, the phrase for tonight's giveaway was, I want to live in Scotland with Toddy's days. And there's a bunch of you that do. I know you do. So I put his contact information. We'll put it up again, www.metaldetectingscotland.co.uk. That'll get you right to Toddy. You ask him any questions you need. He will help you put together your trip. Like he said, it's best probably mid to late September and October. That's when you want to go, even into November. So you discuss it with Toddy, get your group together. You'll never be any happier in your life. You'll be very sorry if you don't do this. But now let's do the drawing. Once I call your name, and only if I call your name, you'll have 3 minutes to text me at my phone number right there with your name that you are here. If you don't tell me your name, you ain't going to win because I don't know what your phone number is. Then we'll cover it after that. So get your fingers ready. I'm going to call the name. You'll have 3 minutes to text me with your name and that you are here. So let's see. Big Game Hound. You are the winner of the books. You got 3 minutes to text with your name and that you are here.
All righty, so we got a winner. So let's see if they're here.
If they're here,
yes.
You never know. Sometimes they're not. Here's a question, Toddy. I don't know if this is. Did you ever do any gold panning or anything in Scotland?
Yes, I have done gold panning in Scotland. There's a couple of places you can go gold panning. You can buy a day ticket and you can get into the hills, get a wee permit, and you can go gold panning. It's in the Red Hills down in Scotland. So it's down kind of southern end from Edinburgh. You can go there and actually get your wee day ticket and go gold panning. And they're successful, get a good bit of gold.
Very good, very good. We're just starting to get into that. We had some guests on a couple weeks ago with gold panning. A lot of people are really getting into that. Now, something else that I've kind of taken an interest in, do you find, like...
Yeah, Jeff, if that's the winner, people are saying they couldn't hear the name.
They couldn't hear the name. Well, I've got someone here. I don't know who it is, but it was. The name was Big Game Hound. So that's it. I don't know who it is. Let me just text you.
Yes.
They didn't say a name, so I don't know who Big Game Hound is, but they got about one more thing. So I don't know who it was. Otherwise, I got another name standing by.
Okay. All right, for sure. Yeah.
So what was the other question, Jeff, that you were saying? You were saying that you were getting into something.
Any what?
You see, you were talking about gold panning, and then you says another thing that people are getting into, you're getting into.
It's fossil hunting, and arrowheads and spear points. You guys get quite a bit of that, don't you, over there?
On one of our last digs, there was a guy come up to me and he said that we actually seen him walking about the fields, and he, again, after the rains, he walks about and he finds stuff, and he found a Neolithic necklace, which was in the treasure trove. He finds flint arrowheads and things like that just lying in the farmer's fields.
Yeah. Yeah, they do here too. You know, I'm trying to get a couple guests for that. It's kind of hard to track people down sometimes.
Yeah.
And here's another question. What kind of gems do you find in Scotland?
They find loads of gems in Scotland. And there's actually a site, a Facebook group. It's called Minerals of Scotland. Maybe one of the guys on there that run it might be a good guest. These guys post a lot of excellent stuff on minerals they're just finding on beaches and on rivers in Scotland.
Okay. Well, Toddy, how about magnet fishing? You guys do that over there in Scotland?
These people do it. I done it when it just came out as a big magnet. But the only thing with a magnet is it only picks up iron. And I'd rather spend my time looking for gold or silver, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a big magnet fisher, but I do sell some here in the shop because people just like to do it.
Yeah, they pull out old shopping trolleys and things like that, and I don't know what they're looking for. Maybe a safe full of treasure. You never know, but I'd rather spend my time looking for hammered coins or gold rings.
Yeah, the customers I have who use them mostly find handguns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I live in a bad neighborhood because they're finding all these handguns in the river. So it's crazy. And they do find some safes too from time to time. But the doors are always busted off on them.
That's right.
Okay, let's do another name because Big Game has another name now. And so we're going to do 1954 Bolo.
What was it, Jeff?
1954 Bolo.
1954.
Bolo. B-O-L-O.
Polo.
Yep, I got a couple of minutes.
Yes, absolutely. And they're going to get a cool prize too, for sure.
And Toddy, when the people come over for a detecting trip with Toddy's Dig, what do they need to bring other than just their detector and their clothing and stuff?
That's basically all they need to bring, because I've got spades. If they want to bring their own spade, like Phil's got some nice spades that fold in half. But if they want to cut the weight down in the luggage, as I say, they'll get a spade from me free. They can use a spade. Fines bag, headphones, maybe even I've got spare detectors in case a machine broke, so they're not going to be left without a machine.
Very good. Very well. That's pretty good. Well, we lost that.
Come back.
What button did you hit?
I hit a button that disappeared.
See, if he touches a button, how do you go crazy? So
like that.
we basically have him in a straight.
Yeah, hold my hand and handcuff me. So
what we're going to do, I
should
think
you bring two detectors?
Sorry?
Should you bring two metal detectors?
Well, some guys will maybe bring their two favourite metal detectors just in case they fall out with one because it's not finding them anything. They could switch to the other one.
Yeah. Now, what coil do you use on your Deus 2?
Well, it would be an 11-inch. You definitely want to be using 11-inch here. No 6-inch coils, just 11-inch coil. 6-inch coil's handy in case there's any stubble. They can get fit in between the stock, but I generally detect an
11-inch, okay. You don't run the bigger one, the 13-inch?
I would do if it was ploughed and rolled, there was no stubble or it was grass, I would use the 13-inch, definitely.
Okay, very cool.
Very good. Well, we're going to draw another name, Phil.
Cool.
And we're going to draw Merlina. Kevin Merlina.
Kevin Merlina.
Good answer. I'm keeping the books.
Yeah, Kevin Merlina. And if he doesn't answer, Jeff will keep the book tonight.
Right.
So
here's one here.
Do they take U.S. money or go to the bank for their exchange, daily purchases? That's a good question.
Well, most people use cards, so I don't know how they would pay for it if they were going to the shops. Usually what happens is before we go detecting, they'll take the guys to a local store. They could maybe buy supplies like food or sandwiches or juice, whatever they want, and they just buy it there.
Yeah, so if you want drinks, you could use a credit card, then, right?
They just use a card.
Okay. Or Kevin Merlina's there. Where's the number? It's right there in red.
Yeah, Kevin, you're using pounds in Scotland currently, right, Toddy?
Pounds, yes. It's just the same as England, pounds.
Okay.
It's in red.
We can't see the numbers, and we can't see well enough to read these books.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It says text Jeff at 850-545-1651.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's see if he does.
Yeah, so we do have a winner. We will when he texts you, I should
When
say.
he texts.
So anyway, yeah, they can use a card for all their expenses over there and not have to deal with the currency.
No, just use a card. I think it's just when we go abroad, we just use our card.
Okay. Yeah, it makes life easy because I have people from all over the world come in my shop. They use the card machine. It works perfect.
That's
Don't
right.
have any trouble with that. Jeff, did you get your winner?
We got it.
Sweet.
Now, we get to Kevin, pay attention here. Because now what you need to do is you need to email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com your name, address, and phone number. You email that to me, I can get your books to you. So then we got that done. Thank you, Lord.
Yes. We've got a winner.
Now, you're in Falkirk, pretty much, right, Tyler?
Yep, central. It's in between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
And there's plenty of places for people to stay. You help them with recommendations and things.
This is probably not the area I would have trips. I had a trip here the first time, so I try and kind of change it about and have different areas so that people aren't going to the same areas.
Okay, yeah. But you'll help them find where they want to stay and all that.
Where it centres round is where I get permission for us to detect for that amount of people for that amount of days. So I would say, right, this is where we're going to be detecting. So this is the area, within this area, find out where you want to stay. Because some people want to go 2-star, some people want 5-star. Everybody's different.
Yeah. But you'll help them with recommendations and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
All they need to do is contact Toddy at MetalDetecting Scotland.
Yep.
co.uk.
That's right. It's on the
Tell him what you got in mind, and you'll take care of him 100% of the time. And he'll tell you how much it's going to cost you and everything, because he tailors the trips. That's why we can't talk prices, because there's no general price. It's what you want, and then he'll tell you. So can't beat that. And guess what, Toddy? You believe we've been on here for an hour?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can go to my bed now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
that's right. See, a lot of people don't realize that. Toddy did a huge favor. It's 1 o'clock in the morning in Scotland.
And I'm at 6 o'clock because I'm out teaching scuba diving tomorrow.
Scuba diving at 6 in the morning. Okay, well, on that note, Toddy, I wanted to thank you for being on here with us for sure and talk about detecting in Scotland. Because I've got friends who've been on your trip and just love it. So we're glad you're on here with us today. And Jocelyn, thank you for helping me. And Jeff, thank you, my friend.
You are welcome. Toddy, we can't thank you enough for staying up late to be with us tonight. You'll be hearing from a lot of people, I'm sure. And thanks, Phil. Thanks, Josh. Thanks to Big Poppy for being a professional actor and he was directing this commercial. So, anyways, next week we're going to do something a little bit differently. what we're going to do, we're going to have the Trumbull Treasure Hunting Club on.
Sweet.
So we're going to have, I think, 5 people from Trumbull Treasure Hunters in Ohio. We met these folks at Big Stock. So if you are a member of a metal detecting club and you would like to be on Treasure Talk, send me an email, treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. We'll see what we can do about getting you and your club on, because we think here at Treasure Talk that clubs are the backbone of the hobby. So we're going to talk to a club next week. So Toddy, thanks, man. Hope you have a good night's sleep. And hopefully we'll be seeing you soon.
Okay, guys. Great meeting you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Dig deeper.